Hi, and welcome to Mommy's Monday Madness. Okay, so since there was no Iyanla, a new episode of Iyanla, there was nothing for me to review this week on that. I decided to go back to one of the shows I used to watch a while ago, which was The Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we are now in season 9, which is like crazy. So I had to catch up, and so I did season 9, episode 1, and I also watched episode 2. So this I'm going to talk to you guys about episode 1, which was called House of Shade and Dust. And let me tell you, there was so much shade this episode, so much. Everywhere you turned, there was tons of shade being thrown. So it starts off the opening scene with Candy and her husband and their son. So the son is 5 months old, and Ace is the son's name. So Candy's like talking about why she doesn't understand why people have a problem with her teaching her 5-month-old son how to be potty trained, because it's something she's going to have to teach him eventually anyway. So I get her, I understand. I am one of those people who are thinking like 5 months. How do you potty train a kid that early? But if it's something that can be done, then why not? There's children that read at 1. So it depends on the level of that child and how they pick up on certain things. That's fine by me. That's fine by me. My son was actually potty trained at 2. So that's definitely a big gap from 5 months to 2. But hey, whatever works for them. I don't have a problem with that. So she goes into some small conversation about, I guess, kind of like the duties, like the parenting and stuff like that with between her and her husband. And so she says she has like 70% of the responsibility, and then her husband has like 30%. So, anywho, we leave from Candy, and then we go on to all of this extra shade from Kenya. So Kenya is, talking about her new house, and we're kind of walking through her house, and they are showing, what needs to be done, and she really wants the work to be done because she wants to have a housewarming party soon. And then she throws some shade, of course, at Sheree, and she's talking just in general, not like to Sheree. She's like, it's been 5 years since the shadow of Sheree, and she knows that she needs to get her baseboards done, her driveway done, blah 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 blah. So at the what is it called? The Moore Manor, she has 5 bedrooms and 5.5 baths. Next scene is, of course, Sheree, and we're at the Chateau Sheree, whatever. And hers is 10,000 square feet. I don't think they told how many square feet Kenya's was. But anyways, Sheree's is 10,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms as well, but she has 7.5 bathrooms. Sheree is talking about how she wants people to come in and she wants it to be jaw dropping and how she wants them to pick up their faces. And it just seemed to me like a whole bunch of, I just want to show off type of stuff. So she mentioned like the interior designer, interior decorator. He's expensive. He's the best in the business or the best in Atlanta. And it is over budget, but she wants to, you know, make a statement. Okay. So next scene is Phaedra. Something confused me about this because I don't really know what this word means, so I need to look it up. So Phaedra is like in the kitchen or whatever at her house, and I guess she's like making lemonade, I think it was, or some guacamole. And um what's her name? Portia comes over. So when Portia comes over, they show a really quick glimpse of a woman, and it said underneath her name, Phaedra's governess. And I'm like, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. I have to look that up. If you guys know what that means, let me know. If that maybe that's something southern, I'm not too sure. I don't really know what a governess is. So anywho, So we see her children. They're 6 and 3. They got big so fast. There's a little bit of talk between Phaedra and Portia about her divorce, and we're talking about Phaedra's divorce, and then also Phaedra wanting to date. And the doorbell rings. There is an invite that is presented to Phaedra. This gentleman that is bringing the beautiful invite is on a horse and carriage, and he brings the invite on a pillow, and I think it had like a little crown on it or something like that. And the invite is from Kenya inviting Phaedra to her housewarming party, and the housewarming party invitation says, bring a +1 that's hot and not a thought. It was like, really? It is so funny to me, or is it a coincidence, we'll say, that the invite comes when Portia's over there. Like, come on, really? That was a setup. But anyways, it's a show. We know that it's a show. So the next scene, we go into Cynthia, and Cynthia is walking into a law firm office, and she's meeting with the attorney, and she wants to file divorce from Peter. The attorney goes over a little bit of the Georgia laws and the rights for infidelity or desertion, and she says it wasn't either one of those, that it's really on her. So the attorney wants to know if they had a prenup. She says yes. They haven't been living together for about 5 months, and that was kind of that. And we kind of left that scene. So the next scene after that is, because the show just kind of jumps back and forth or whatever on each person, and then it can go back and forth to that person again. So the next scene was actually Portia. Portia is at her counselor. She is seeing Dr. Smith. He is an anger management counselor, and he uncovers a few things about her. She does talk about having some anger issues and violence issues, and she has put her hands on people and things like that. And he asked her, has there ever been a situation in the past, when she was younger, perhaps? And she did say that in high school and in middle school, she was bullied a lot. She was depressed. She even considered or thought about committing suicide, taking her own life. So as a child, she was really bullied. She had large teeth, and her brother was popular, so she was the one that kind of wasn't. So the counselor told her that basically she has to take responsibility. He asked her, what responsibility has she owned? And kind of made her think about that the way that she responds and the way she acts or interacts with other people, it's not only about herself, but it's about her legacy at this point. She's an adult now. Alrighty, so we move back on into Sheree. Sheree is at her house, Chateau Sheree, and her daughter is with her, and they kind of walking through, and her phone rings, and on the phone is Kenya. Kenya is inviting her to her housewarming party, and she's like, well, now Kenya's not saying this to Sheree, but she's saying this basically to the audience, I guess, to those viewers. I didn't know where to send the invite to. Is she in a cardboard box? Yada, yada, yada. So again, very, very shady. And what did she say? Oh, so at this point, this is where it all comes to light. We find out that they made a bet, or it comes back up that they made a bet of who would win by Christmas. So Sheree and Kenya have been trying to get their homes together so that they will win the bet, which is a stupid and foolish bet. It seems that all they've been doing is competing with each other, and it is so foolish. And that's just my own personal opinion. And yeah, anyways, so I'll move on. We're back to Cynthia. She's FaceTiming Peter and asking him if he's seen the prenup. She can't seem to find the prenup. Does he have a copy of the prenup? And he's basically kind of rude to her. He's like, I'm with my new girlfriend. Why are you FaceTiming me? And when she asked him about the prenup, he's like, maybe your mama knows where it's at. It might be with the marriage license. Like Peter is like kind of going in on her. So she's kind of basically done with the conversation, and she ends the phone call with not really getting anything accomplished. But I do appreciate her FaceTiming him while, the show was rolling. So then we have Kenya again. It's time for her housewarming party. Oh my gosh, was this a mess or not? Her house was not ready. Let me tell you, it is beautiful. Her home is beautiful. It is lovely. But it just wasn't together. There was even one little clip where they were showing the outside of the home, and there was wood on the outside of the home that was missing. There was fixtures, like where the electrical outlet missing. Another thing that they did show as some of the guests were walking through, there was like a garbage can underneath, I think a sink or something like that. The red carpet was on top of dirt. And yeah, when Sheree walked in, she was being shady. She was very negative. Everything that she saw, she was nitpicking at it. Was it ready for housewarming? No, it was not. She could have waited a little bit longer. To me, if you're going to invest that much money into your home and trying to make it look beautiful, then get it totally together so people can see your final outcome. Don't try to win a bet with someone and then have all these people come over, and it just really wasn't ready for a housewarming. And my house, of course, is nowhere near that. But when I did have my housewarming party, I had to make sure everything was done. Like, it was no way that I was going to have people walking through my home when, the bathtub wasn't put in or stuff like that. It is no way. So if you're having a housewarming party, your house should kind of be a little bit warm. But Sheree was complaining that it was extremely warm, and that also you needed, what did she say, a hard hat and dust rags. Like, she was throwing complete shade. Like, Sheree is kind of quick with it. Actually, they both are really quick with it and really witty. Side note, Sheree looks a little old to me. That's just me. But anyways, I feel like she might be like one of the oldest on the show. I'm not positive. It might be her and Kenya. They might be neck and neck. I don't know. But Sheree looks older. And then they showed Sheree's oldest daughter. They showed her son, 19. Like, I'm kind of thinking, how old is she? Maybe a little bit too old for that shenanigans. But anywho, that's me being shady, right? And I hate her wig, and please forgive me because this wig is stiff too, but I don't have a $10,000 square foot home. But one of those wigs that Sheree had on, I was just like, it was chopped and screwed, baby. It was like a bob. It was okay. Anyway, y'all saw it, right? If you ain't see it, please go and watch that episode because yes. Anyway. Let me go back. Okay. But let me just say something that is positive. Portia's car, honey, that car was bad. She picked Phaedra up so that they can go to the housewarming party because, of course, she was Phaedra's +1. And that car was bad. It's beautiful. It is so beautiful. I don't know if it's a Bentley or something, but it is gorgeous. Anywho, Portia and Phaedra walked in. Oh, that's the end of my notes. Portia and Phaedra, put their names together, walked into the housewarming. And godly, you should have seen Sheree. Sheree, I don't know. I think Sheree just likes drama or something because she was the one that was like the loudest. She's like, oh, she laughing and so loud when they walked in. She couldn't wait for it. And let me tell you, I couldn't wait either. So that was season one. And season two is going to pick up with them entering the party. And then, of course, Portia's going to see not Portia, I'm sorry, Kenya is going to see that Portia is there. So that is what we're going to pick up for season 9, episode 2. All right. Thanks for joining me.